Errol Spence cruises to an easy, unanimous decision win over Mikey Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. This video is rightfully going to be named Right Pick, Wrong Finish. Um, I actually fell asleep for this one. The weekend, Friday night and Saturday sort of crept up on me, and just couldn't stay awake. So I woke up early this morning to see the result that I'd already predicted, just with a different finish. My prediction for this fight was going to be that Errol Spence would take Mikey Garcia and knock him out within 9 rounds or less. The fight actually went the full distance, um, and Errol Spence actually won what I believe to be 12 out of 12 rounds. Mikey Garcia showed grit and determination, and he showed that he is a true champion and a real warrior. Mikey Garcia was banging, and sort of kept his head in the water just about enough. My biggest issue for this fight was that I think Errol Spence had complete domination of this fight from rounds 1 to 5. Errol Spence controlled that right-handed jab beautifully with the right-handed jab, the right-handed double jab, and then the overhand left, the left hook. And Mikey Garcia just couldn't. He had nothing for him. Um, it's strange. I know we've got a lot of American followers on this channel and American listeners. I woke up this morning, about 7, 8 o'clock UK time, and the fight was on YouTube, full fight HD. Now I understand, we want to be able to sort of promote and support the boxers that we like, but pay-per-view in America is so bloody expensive. One pay-per-view in America is the cost of 3 pay-per-views in the UK, at the $75 mark, in comparison to what we pay over here in England. So yes, it's good that all of you Americans were going out, because from what I've been told, this fight is going to have forecasted good numbers. But it's crazy. You spend $75 on a pay-per-view, and a few hours later, the full fight is in HD on YouTube the next day, or a few hours later, depending on your time zone. But I'm not encouraging people to go out there and start streaming fights and watching them on YouTube. I just find it a crazy one. Same thing happens with AJ fights as well. A couple hours later, they end up on the internet. Um, but yeah, let me get back to the fight because I digress. As I said, Errol Spence controlled that fight beautifully. The double jab, the left hook. The stream that I actually watched on YouTube this morning, it actually had a punch count on it. I think that was the Fox Sports. It might have been what you guys in America would have been watching on Fox Sports. And I think Errol Spence probably threw maybe 5 or 6 times as many punches as Mikey Garcia. I think Mikey Garcia took too many blows to the head from early on, because one thing I didn't understand about him is that from about round 3 onwards, every time the ref had sort of blew the whistle or the end of the round came, Mikey Garcia was putting his arm in the sky and doing a fist pump. And I was just like, there's no way you thought you was winning any of these rounds. Now, I know I was very tired this morning when I woke up in the early hours to watch it. Um, but for me, Errol Spence won all 12 rounds comfortably. I don't think Mikey Garcia did anything until about round 6, really, when he started to let his hands go, coming inside. Mikey Garcia's biggest issues for this fight was always going to be that Errol Spence had the size advantage, the height advantage, and the reach advantage. And the only way Mikey Garcia was going to be able to do anything was going to be coming on the inside and sort of working. A lot of Mikey Garcia's downfall came is that every time he threw his punches, he was just outside of the range. I think Errol Spence analyzed Mikey Garcia's range to perfection, and when you watch the fight, you see a lot of missed punches from Mikey Garcia from where his arms just weren't physically long enough. Whereas Errol Spence, he used his range to his advantage, and managed to do a lot of sort of medium and outside fighting, distance fighting, if you want to call it that. Mikey Garcia, as I said in my previous video, he had no business coming up to 147. I mean, he just about won that junior welterweight title and vacated it the very next day, I believe, just because he realized that he hasn't got the size to bang. When you really look at the fundamentals of why Mikey Garcia took this fight, both fighters, I believe, had a guaranteed purse of $8 million each. I don't know what they got on the back end and the upside, but Mikey Garcia's never earned that sort of money before, and that's the reason why. I don't really know what next for Mikey Garcia because I wouldn't even. Would I recommend him going back down to 140? Maybe not. I'd say he should go back to 135. That seems to be his optimum fight weight, where I think he should sort of go back down there and campaign. He's still got a belt at 135, so maybe what he should do is take the easiest tick over fight he can, sort of gauge where he's at, and maybe look to get himself back out there in about, I don't know, July, August, September, the latest. I think Mikey Garcia's still got a lot to offer in the division. But one thing you will know is that Lomachenko's going to want blood. Lomachenko's going to want that unification fight, and Mikey Garcia might be a little bit pissed because, you know, after yesterday's performance, if Mikey goes back down to 135 and he was fighting Lomachenko, I'd probably fancy Loma. What next for Errol Spence? Well, after the fight, Errol Spence, he got straight on the microphone and he called out Manny Pacquiao. Shock. Errol Spence now believes that he is a pay-per-view star, and rightfully so. So the next best person to fight on pay-per-view would be Manny Pacquiao. The only issue for Errol Spence is that fighting Pacquiao is a bit of a waste of time because Manny Pacquiao has a stupid WBA regular belt. Errol Spence needs to understand that he needs to build his legacy and fuck the money. Like, yes, he'll get paid a shitload of dough fighting Pacquiao, but why would you not go for Keith Thurman, the WBA Super Champion? Why would you not go for Sean Porter, the WBC Champion? I understand you want to build legacy, but the Pacquiao fight will stay there for a while. Go after some of the other belts. That's what he's been talking about, cleaning up his side of the street. I guarantee you, he's only calling out Pacquiao because Pacquiao is a pay-per-view star. Um, you know, he doesn't care about the WBA regular belt. The belt that he should be going after is Keith Thurman. That's the fight that he said that he's wanted for the last 2.5, 3 years. Go after it, mate. But yes, I understand that now. He's had his first taste of pay-per-view money, um, and he's gonna want to keep adding to that. So yeah, let's see what happens. My pick is, as you've seen my welterweight video, I've always picked Errol Spence to clean out the division. So if he wants to get the WBA regular belt as well, then fuck it, let him go for it. I personally wouldn't be going down that route, but I understand the financial gains of fighting Manny Pacquiao. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What next for Errol Spence? What next for Mikey Garcia? Do you think that Garcia took a moral victory on this one because he didn't get knocked out? A lot of people, including myself, was expecting Errol Spence to go and blast him out, and he didn't. Mikey Garcia managed to hold on. Anyway, guys, leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe, share this video. That's the end of the show because Remstar says so.